Hi guys, Thierry Rocks here, bringing you today's album review. But first, a little bit of an explanation. Where have I been? Because it's been like 2 months or so, and I haven't made any videos. It's like currently the end of September. Well, to put it simply, I finished university. Trying to find what I want to do in life, job searching, those kind of things. But I haven't had the time to really, make videos and such. But it's all good. I've got a support system, so I'll be all right there. I'm keeping optimistic. And the other reason, other than that, is that when I left university, they basically took my Adobe license away. So Premiere Pro and whatever the other ones are, Photoshop, Audition, I can't use them anymore unless I pay the subscription, which is like over 100 a month. Not a month. I think in a year, which yeah, I don't really feel like paying that because I'm not naturally an editor. So I've decided to find a new editing software. I'm currently using CapCut, which is a free one. There is a paid option, but the free one is pretty decent. I'm not really an expert, but as more of a casual video editor, it seems to work pretty well. But hopefully, the album reviews will be in full swing again. I'm not sure if I want to, I don't know if I want to do more YouTube shorts. I just don't know what to do them on. I'm very open to like suggestions and feedback from others, but for now, I just want to make these quite lengthy album reviews because, well, my passion for music is one of the things I want to share with everybody. We are going to talk about a band that, very similar to Atom Ship, they have a couple parallels, those two bands. Not just the sound either, but this is an example of a band who were only together for a very short time, really short time, and sadly only released one album, and that is Resonance by Mad at Gravity. Now, my last album reviews was on Breaking Benjamin, who are not really very well known in the more casual scene, but they're very famous in the whole, I don't know, like alternative rock, alternative metal, modern rock kind of scene. But 3 Days Grace as well. But then you get bands like Mag, aka Mad at Gravity, who were sadly forgotten about. And I want to highlight them today because I think, as far as I know, this I might be the only person who who has reviewed this album on YouTube. So, why don't I do it? Now, a bit of history. I'm going to talk about the band, talk about the artwork, and all that sort of all those things. So yeah, Mad at Gravity. They were formed in the year 2000, um, and they're from California, I believe. In 2001, they made a demo EP, which was just like a demo tape, which was just early versions of these songs. And then in 2002, they formed. Sorry, they signed under the label Artifact Records, which they seem like a small indie label. I've never heard of them before. They're not like Universal or Sony or Warner Bros. Or any of them lot. Geffen. So yeah, they picked them up, and in July of 2002, that fantastic year for music, they released their debut, Resonance. But little did we know, unfortunately, due to conflicts, Wikipedia says it was because of the issues with their singer Jalen Johnson leaving, and they couldn't find a replacement. So sadly, they split up in the following year in 2003. So yeah, it's really sad because the music on this album had so much potential for them to like keep making albums, to keep changing their sound. Yep, this is all we have. Now, I discovered the band Mag because of, my good friend Mako. He introduced me to them back in 2019, I think. Was really getting into these more obscure bands. He found them, I think, on some like racing game video. And what's really interesting is that him and their singer Jalen Johnson actually had a couple conversations. And Jalen, he seems to have a small online presence and has been really highlighting Mag to the point where he's like publicly talked about the band and actually managed to get resonance on Spotify and other streaming platforms. And he also released a digital version of "Come Undone," which was the Duran Duran cover. So he honestly seems like he very much still cares about the project, but obviously the other band members not so much. But yeah, back in 2019, him and Mako, shout out to him, actually did have a couple conversations, and I think they talked about some beef with the band. I don't really want to get into it because it's kind of negative, so you know. But he also sent, Jalen actually sent him a sticker, like a Mad at Gravity like sticker from the time that was signed. So that's really cool, honestly, to have like an artifact from back then, a piece of merch. So yeah, but yeah. So once again, thank you to Mako, and he actually he got me the CD for Christmas that year. Sent it to me. I don't think it's very expensive. I think you can get it. And another weird little factoid: it was actually released on cassette in Thailand, I believe, or no, sorry, Indonesia. So yeah, it's crazy. Resonance is on cassette, but yeah. So other things about the band is that I think they were formed by their drummer, who was previously in a band called Pressure 45. Who they were kind of they kind of sounded new metal, but on the lighter side of it. Similar to Incubus and whatnot. I'm about 7 minutes in, and we'll get to the review the track list, and we'll look at the album art. So the album cover, really is very much fitting with the sound. I would say Mag's style would be kind of like Wikipedia classes them as new metal, but I really don't think they sound like that at all. The guitars aren't quite chunky and heavy enough. And Jalen never screams. He's completely a clean vocalist. And there's no hip hop elements, no rapping, no sort of like DJ effects of any sort. So definitely not. But I would say they're on the length of like alternative metal, um, definitely slightly post grunge, a little bit. But I'd also say they'd be classed as space rock. Because this album is very, it has those like science fiction vibes similar to Atom Ship, but I would say they're space rock because that's a real genre. Because there's bands like Failure and Hum, spelled Hum, who do songs primarily focusing on space and time and science fiction. So I definitely think they're fitting of that. So yeah, that's really interesting. But the artwork um, shows. I believe this is like the those CCTV cameras, which are like the black ball ones that can see everything. And there's like two containers. I don't know what they are, but the thing that holds it, and then the CCTV camera ball in the middle. And also the sticker here. It's funny because I think Mako's copy of this doesn't have that, but this has featured in Spyglass Entertainment's film Rain of Fire. I've never seen the film. It's Christian Bale's in it, but it's about it's about dragons in London. I watched like the first 20 minutes of the film. I found it pretty boring because I didn't see any of the dragons. But yeah, two of the songs on the album feature on the end credits, so that was this band's claim to fame. It's really sad because like whether people like that movie, it should have really have given them attention, but it didn't, unfortunately. So yeah, but that's cool. It makes me think of the also features Dante from the Devil May Cry series on that one PS2 JRPG. But anyway, the back of it has, I don't know what this is. Some kind of a some kind of a container of some kind. Maybe something that would have a drill bit in it or something. And the tracks are there, that very much that Y2K era digital spacey looking font there, and it's a very pleasing purpley, so bluey purple. But yeah, the CD has the surveillance camera, CCTV camera, and you also get a this was like the band's logo emblem, And the inside of the manual has lots of pictures of machinery, and like they look like super colliders and things like that. Maybe that's what this thing is, but it's like machinery, scientific nature. There's a picture of the band on the backdrop of like a sky. They're actually very pleasing looking. I would love to have that as a poster. Ooh, speaking of, I hope you like my Freddy vs. Jason poster I got at Comic Con. But anyway, so yeah, enough talk. Let's get into the album and what I think. So the opening track is only about 20 seconds long. Primer, which primer is like Latin for like beginning or something like that. It's just some atmosphere with a robotic voice saying Earth, 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 and then we kick into track number 2, the main single of the album, Walk Away, completely just goes just completely just goes into it. This song is amazing. I'll just straight up say it. It is just so explosive, just so much energy. The verses are actually very peaceful sounding. Finding, I'm falling, I'm fooling myself, and it's blinding. And then you get to the chorus, and walk away, and I swear, will you stand me up again? Wonder if I said too much and we'll never speak again. Yeah, this song is very catchy. Some good solid guitar work here. I really enjoy the lyrics as well. You know, I searched your eyes for an answer and shuddered at what I found there as my skin shrank away to conclusion. Um, but you lack the strength to care. It's just, oh, I love this song and the rhyming and everything. I can see why this is like the lead single. And the middle of the track is like, is this the way it has to be? Yeah, this song is definitely like, it's a very like cathartic feeling of like someone who's betrayed you or wronged you, who's like walking away from them. And when Jalen does that yell, you and I should walk away. I will actually say, after that bit of the song, it's probably the best example, one of the best examples I've heard of like dual guitar work. And I mean like the rhythm guitar and the lead guitar. Because you have the riffs going, and then at the same time, you hear the other guitar going. That is the kind of thing I love when like guitars do that kind of work together to create just some fantastic music. And the song ends with a build up and then a fade out with a kind of really peaceful like distortion effects. Walk Away is amazing. The music video has some imagery and CGI effects like from the Rain of Fire the movie. There's dragons and everything like that. I really miss when early 2000s rock and metal used to do that. Like How Can I Live by El Nino had Freddy vs. Jason in it. Immortal by Edema had like Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance clips in it and green screens. It's cheesy, it looks a little dated now, but it's just so much passion. And you don't really see that anymore. I mean, you'll see like some, you know, modern pop artists or whatever like do songs in a movie, but you never get anything this cool again. But anyway, Walk Away is amazing, and before I move on, I'll say as well, there was a lot of songs in 2002 with that title. There was the band Switched, had a song called Walk Away, the new metal band, and then there was also a post-grunge band called Epidemic, who had a song called Walk Away. So, I don't know, just seemed interesting. Track number 3, History Repeats. Another great song that just like starts with a drum intro and then has like some really good riffs. All I want is fading. But yeah, and the chorus is just great. I love the it's kind of like tongue in cheek kind of humor and wordplay. History repeats, flows through clean sheets, born to be broken. And then the other bit, do you remember this? I just love that kind of feel. And then the middle of the song, and then it's like the drums kind of stop. I also like the title History Repeats because it's like history repeats, just make it into one word. History Pete's. I like that. It's good wordplay. Yeah, this is a great song. Another really good song, Time and Time Again. Also released the same year as Papa Roach's song, Time and Time Again. But this one is different. It goes, time and time again, I'm finding a better defense. But yeah, the vocals, Jalen absolutely carries this album. But I mean, everyone in the band is solid though. But his voice definitely reminds me the most of LeJean Witherspoon from Seven Dust. Also a very underrated band. But yeah, time and time again, it starts with very. I love the clean guitars on this album too. So it's not all just distortion. There's a lot of boom boom bang 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 ding ding, and the opening lyric, "Don't call me cynical." There's also a lot of echo on this track as well with the vocals, which really adds the spacey feel to it. Yeah, fantastic. Track number 5, the first ballad on the album, the first true ballad, is Find the Words. If I told you, if your life was a glass, would you say that it was full? Lots of like good lyrics like that, and the chorus is absolutely beautiful. Would you laugh or would you fall to pieces? It's a really beautiful song, honestly. It's nice to like have something a little bit more laid back after the previous ones, which were more hard rock. And then the middle section of the song, Jalen absolutely belts it out. Crumble, relapse, stumble, fall to pieces, fall to pieces. But yeah, there's some excellent guitar work here. This song is just beautiful. I actually think it should have been a single, but really sadly it wasn't. But yeah. Track number 6, the first, what I'm going to call dud on the album, is in less good songs. We're going to talk about that at the end. Run for Cover. This one is one of the few songs I'd say has a slightly, I'd say, new metal adjacent kind of feel. It has like heavy riffs. And also this song has really good like bass work. Yeah, the bass is really like loud and clear, which is like what I appreciate on rock albums. It does those things where it's like you can hear the bass very loudly and the guitar goes quiet. But yeah, I'm just not as keen on this one. It's just not as it doesn't really like give me those emotions as such. Maybe it's just a me thing. The middle bit, the song goes into a bit where it goes back into that kind of like tongue-in-cheek humor, like I have no class, but I've got cash. I'm not really sure what it means, but I think that it's kind of funny. But yeah, Run for Cover. Maybe this song's like has a kind of is about war or something like that, being on the battlefield. I'm not totally sure, but it's okay. Luckily though, we get into track 7, which is Burn, which is an absolute banger. Like I said before, the two songs in Rain and Fire was Walk Away and this song Burn. I think that Burn seems to be the more popular of the two though. But this one starts off with I just love the chorus though. Let this place on fire, let the flames rise higher till they reach the ceiling. I love it because it paints an image in your mind. This song is just awesome. I love it. It is also the one with the most listens on Spotify and other streaming platforms, so it seems to be like a fan favorite. Oh, and I like the bit where he goes, "I would give it all." Gives it a little bit of a progressive rock kind of feel, especially the guitar work. But yeah, this song is great. Okay, now we're technically the middle of the album now, with an interlude track, Coalescence. This is just a nice, peaceful, instrumental acoustic track with some nice little high-pitched kind of sounding guitar effects and things. It's not super necessary, but it is nice. It kind of makes it feel like you're entering into like part 2 of the album. So again, a bit proggy, a bit progressive rock. Pretty good. Sadly though, we do start getting into some of the duds on the album. Letter to Myself. I like the opening of it because it does kind of have that feel like we're going into like the, second part of the album. But yeah, this song, the problem with it is that it doesn't even have "Letter to Myself" in the lyrics, so it's one of the ones that's harder to remember, really. Um, I remember like it went I'm waiting for you, but yeah. Other than that, I really don't like this song. It feels like filler track, honestly, and it's not terrible. It's not bad, but not very memorable. And again, the next song feels like that too. This Collision. It starts off with a drum beat straight away, and the bass comes back in. But yeah, this collision reality. Other than that, I'm not like too fond of this song. It's not very long either. The other one wasn't. It was only about 2 minutes long. But yeah, this collision feels like a track that would be like on a B side of a single. Like you'd have the single and then you'd be like, oh, nice, a little hidden, lesser known song. Not really a song that could have been on a full release as good as this. Sorry to be negative, but it's just my opinions, really. But never mind, we get into an absolute banger, In Vain. This song is beautiful, absolutely wonderful. It starts off with some really lovely guitar work, and the drums kick in, and it goes into a build up, and then it goes a bit quieter again, and Jalen sings, "Mind, it's cold outside, will soon decay." Yeah, when I hear this song, it paints an image in my mind. I either feel like an astronaut in space, looking out of like the little port window into just like the nothingness of space, or I think of like wintertime for some reason, like being in like a snowy cabin. I don't know why. That's just my mind and stuff. And then the chorus, I'm reaching to find the words to define, the meaning to try to every aching life in vain. This song is just wonderful. And then it goes into a really clever bit where it's like, I imagine that the backup vocalist probably would have done this like live. There is some live footage of Mag, and they were really good performers. But it goes into like, in vain, and you can hear in the background, can you hear me? Do I speak in vain? And those like vocals are like layered together. I really like when albums do that. It really shows some like love and care in the songwriting. I love the middle of the song as well when it goes a bit quieter. Dun, 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 dun. It's like beautiful melodic rock. It's really weird. Even though I never heard this until 2019, it makes me really nostalgic for some reason of like the past. I think just because of that style of music. But In Vain is amazing. Top track. The next track is Kerosene. Another great track, not a letdown at all. It's fantastic. Kerosene, carry me. And then after that bit, there's actually a time signature change from the drummer, who goes into a slower drum beat as the chorus goes. If I blame myself, I am nothing, nothing. It's just really beautiful, and I really like some of the lyrics, like. Please excuse my ignorance. Is this not what men strive lifetimes for? But yeah, this song's a banger as well. It's just beautiful. Very melodic. Gives me like goosebumps. Fantastic track. Another track, Say It. We're almost coming to the end now, guys. But Say It is it's not as good as the last two, but it is still a good track. I like the intro. He goes back into the distorted guitars. But yeah, I like the intro because it kind of like sounds a little bit like childish sounding, like immature. It's not like music that would be in like a kid's film. I don't know why, but anyway. I like the verses on this one. I try to apologize with sweaty palms and knuckles white. But yeah, this song I mainly like it because it has the chorus hook. I need you to say it, say it. I need you to say it. I feel like this one is kind of a relationship song. I'm not totally sure though, but I like this one. It's good. Now we're going to move on to the last song, the last proper song on the album, and that is Undefined. Oh Lord, this song is so good. It's amazing. Undefined, it's another ballad. Starts off very slow and atmospheric. It's the longest song on the album at like 5.5 minutes long. Um, Very spacey sounding guitars, like you're just floating there. And it's a very slow drum beat, a lot of use of toms, um, very thought-provoking and emotional lyrics. You know, with fake ambition to speak is suicide. And the chorus, will the light still remain in your eyes when after the darkness has swallowed every sign? Will you still be there undefined? It's absolutely beautiful, and I just love how spacey the guitars sound. And I love how the song just fades out with all the little sound effects in the background. Undefined is beautiful, and in my opinion, this should have been the album ender. Would have left an impression, goosebumps, and everything. But because the album wanted to go for this kind of like thing with the interludes, it ends on the final track is actually another instrumental reversion, which is funny that it doesn't say track 15 or has any time on the back of it, sadly. But yeah, reversion. It's I'm not a big fan of this track. It's just mainly like a lot of like a lot of bass with those kind of like guitar distortions in the background, and it goes on for a few minutes, and then it just stops with some like radio chatter, like talking in the background, and then it just ends. I understand what they were going for. They wanted to keep it consistent, almost like a movie, but Undefined should have been the final track. But there you go. So that was Resonance by Mad at Gravity. I wanted to review this one for a very long time. It was on my end of the year. The video I did at end of last year list of albums I wanted to do. What do I think of this album? I will say it's a great album, but it's not a masterpiece, unfortunately, because in my opinion, I think this would have been an amazing 10-track album, maybe 11 tracks. But at 15, it feels a little bit too long and unnecessary. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't give it a chance unless they gave it a few listens. But it is a shame because the songs like Walk Away and Find the Words and In Vain, Kerosene, Undefined are bloody amazing. And most of the other songs are good, but yeah. Still a great album though, but everything, the band didn't exactly do much material anyway. They only did this in a Duran Duran cover, and I think they had another song that I found on YouTube that was like a ballad. I don't remember the name, but I can put the title here. So yeah, obviously they don't have much material to begin with. So I think if they had completely removed Run for Cover, Letter to Myself, and This Collision, and the other interlude tracks, it could have. I think it just would have been fine on its own because most of the other songs are great. But yeah, have I got anything else to say? I feel like you would really enjoy this album if you like that kind of style of rock, space rock, alternative rock, something with a bit of grit to it, a bit of edge, but not heavy enough to really be considered metal. You might enjoy this one, but yeah, that's all I got to say really. I still would definitely recommend listening to this one, but I think the highlight tracks are the ones that stand out. It's not perfect from beginning to end, unfortunately. I didn't mean to like end the video negatively. I'm just sharing my thoughts on it. But yeah, I do honestly though wish that they could have made a second album. Had some settled their differences or whatever and kept making music, because this feels like a starting point of things to come. Maybe they could have refined those songs that had less hooks and less interesting moments, and they could have become an amazing band. They could have gone places after 2002, but sadly, we don't live in that universe. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you didn't mind this video being so long, and thank you for your patience with waiting and everything. Um, I'm still making films. I'm still getting things done. I'm making more album reviews. I just thought it would be a little treat to make it something a little bit longer for those who've been waiting. So yeah, overall, check out Mag. You can this CD is really cheap, and they are on streaming services. So yeah, that's a plus. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully, it'll be pretty soon. Thank you, and peace.